in this next video, we come in contact with some people that we call the family. The family was some people that I had met online, and then like things seem to revolve around it. Like like we were talking about gang stalking, about gang stalkers. Like you can sometimes get like people that are like a family of people that are like weird. It's like in the movies, like like the movies Get Out Now, where there's like a family that tries to do stuff to the black guy. That's for real, man. It's a psychological thriller. Well, like I came in contact with this family who was doing like psychological stuff to people, and like I didn't know that there was people like that. That there was like weirdos. And so I called them the family. Somebody should make that a movie, The Family. It'd be a psychological thriller. And like, that's what was going on, man. And so there was like this family who was like chasing me around online, and it was weird. And then somebody on the local people started talking with the family, because the local people over here are into gang stalking. And so they all got together, and there was like a woman who started talking to the family, and like, I'm not gonna say the names of people, but I make a thing trying to explain about gang stalkers. So it was like the family was like doing stuff, and this woman, she went over there to start talking to them, and this woman, it's like the woman had built a reputation over here in Liberty, Texas. I call her Betty. Betty seems to have been stalking me for a long time, that she gets in the way of everything that I do online or like in the community. And like, it's really, really unsettling to talk about Betty. She is like a obsessive person. Or there's like something wrong with her in her head. And I was like, so she started talking to the people, the other people that were online, that were gang stalkers. And like, she started talking to the family. The family was like a rich family from somewhere far away. And she started talking to them, and she kind of built like a little reputation online, talking to people that I didn't like to talk to. Like talking to people that were like, they built this whole entire network. And now the network is out there, folks. I cannot undo it. I cannot unstop it. But I know one thing, it's targeting people. This thing that they built with the family. And it's targeting people, folks. And like, these are the stories of real gang stalkers and stalkers, like real lunatics that I had to deal with. And the thing is that the family had like a lot of money and stuff, and that's why the locals started talking to the family because they were like, "Oh, look, it's a family. They got a lot of money. They're millionaires and stuff like that." And the locals started getting into it. Like, they started like digging into everything I was doing online. That for some reason they were like robbing everything that I did. Like, they were like trying to take away everything that I was doing online. And but like, you know, I don't trust anybody in this town. The politics here sucks. Like, nobody even does anything. That's the whole reason. That's the whole point, is that nobody does anything, because nobody, like, the moment you start doing stuff in the town, like, you know, you start trying to do stuff, like, then people just, like, there's like this little group of people that start like mobbing you for no reason. And but like, as I said, you know, Betty had contacted the family, and she was out there with the family, man, spending them huge bucks. And she hadn't built a network. The network was there, those stalkers. And like, so she got to meet the stalkers one by one. She started realizing how far the rabbit hole went. And it was like really a vast situation in the United States of America. They all use the same tactics. They all use the same things that they say online that gang stalkers do, except these were like wealthy people. And like, there was this, well, like, let's talk about the family first. So Betty, she realized this family wasn't like the other stalkers that I had, and she was stalking me. Betty was stalking me, and she was looking at the people, and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna talk to the family. The family is doing stuff. I'm gonna go talk to them." And I don't know what she did really with the family, but like, I don't know what words she exchanged or any of that stuff. I just knew that they were like, they were like chasing me around online, and I was like, whoa. It was like this family, like a random family that lives far away, who was like just like looking at my stuff and doing weird shit. And like, I believe it consisted of like a little girl, like a little blonde girl, a woman, a guy, and I'm not sure if it had like other kids, but I remember the little girl was chasing me online, trying to like do weird shit, man. Like, you know, like to do the gang stalking stuff. And like, she had learned it from her parents, and her parents were like into gang stalking. And like, it was weird, man, because like the community here in Liberty, Texas, they started seeing like gang stalking as a thing that was good for the town. And that was fucking weird, because if you go to another place like the city, they say that that's illegal. That's illegal and that you shouldn't be doing that. But over here, everybody was like, "Yay, we're gang stalkers here in the community of Liberty, Texas. We're the gang stalkers in Liberty, Texas." And they did this weird thing where they were dressing up. They had like this weird fucking thing, man, at the rodeo, where they were like covertly dressing up as superheroes and saying that they were gang stalkers, and they were coming out on the newspaper, and they were doing it to sort of like annoy me. And it was like they thought they were like superheroes or some shit, and like it was fucking weird, man. It got to the point where it just like I felt like really corny. It was like really corny, and like I had to stay away from a lot of the newspapers. I had to like, you know, it was fucking weird. But like, as I said, the family, you know, they started like talking to the family. Betty started talking to the family, and Betty was like out there, and she like, I don't know what she did. All I know is that family was like a bunch of weird people. It was like the Addams Family, folks. It was like that movie Get Out from that movie where there's like the black dude is being hunted by the white people using psychological stuff. That's what they were doing to me. And so there was like a family up north or something. But like they wouldn't reveal their identities. All I knew is like you know, I didn't know their names. But there was like things online telling me it was like a whole family, cousins and just everybody, cousins, friends, and just grandma, grandpa were all gang stalking. They're all white suburban people, folks. I got away from those people, and like I was like, they had like a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of tricks up their sleeves, bunch of little magic tricks. And like I think that's why Betty went over there to talk to them. And I believe that the family never tells people the truth. The family is always lying to the people that they came in contact with me. They would say, oh, well, he did this to me. I did, you know, he did this to me. Ruben's a bad guy. And so they were doing that, and so I was just like, fucking weirded out. That's weird, man. Like a whole family of gang stalkers. That's fucking weird. That should be a movie. And like, but it's not weird as the thing that I saw last time here in Liberty, where there was like an ex-soldier, like somebody who used to work in the military. He was like probably like 25 years old, and I was at an antique shop, and he was talking about how he was working for Exxon or some shit. But then he was like saying, you know what? He was telling somebody in the town, so you know what? We're over here. We're conducting operations. So he had learned a bunch of psychological stuff from the military and was using it on the people. You know, he was probably like charging people money for doing that stuff. And it was like a white guy, skinny white guy, short white guy. And he was telling this lady in the town, and I overheard. I was hiding, because I heard some stuff he was saying. I was getting closer and listening to what he was saying. It was it's like we're over here, we're working in teams in the town, and we're not leaving until we execute plan something. Like they already had the terminology, so this was like a whole psychological like psyops. But the guy wasn't dressed in uniform. And that's what I noticed about all the gang stalkers. Sometimes they're police, they're not dressed in uniforms. They look like they're dressed in uniforms, but they're not. And they make it seem like they're they have some kind of authority of some sort. And so like as I said, this is one of the weird stories that I had to bring up. I never seen the guy ever again, but he was charging people for his services. He was brought up from Houston or somewhere, and he was talking about how he was doing the plans with a bunch of people, and I don't know how much they paid the guy, because he was working with a lot of people in the town. I mean, he was working with a lot of people. People were getting paid for this, like this psyops. They were getting paid money. That's the weirdest thing I ever saw. So I recorded most of the stuff, but they weren't working for the government on a contract. They weren't working like with real situation. They were they were like just like freelance, you know, undercover, but like it was not even undercover. It was like an illegal activity being done by these people. It was organized crime that I saw, and like I'd never seen that ever before in my life. Like a soldier that was working for the military, who was conducting operations in Liberty, Texas, and he was getting paid for it, but he was like, it was fucking weird. He was talking about it like he was like happy that he was doing the gang stalking, and he had all the tools that he learned from the military, and he was using it on the people. It's fucking weird, man. But like, you know, like I said, the family, like, it was like, there are people like that. There's weird people that do psychological things to other people, and like, I had to look at it, and I was like, you know, weirded out by the situation, folks. We gotta be ready. We gotta be ready, and we gotta figure out what's going on in America, you know. But let me tell you, man, the whole town is weird, man. It's corny. They dressed up as superheroes, and they were gang stalking people. They were saying, "Oh, I'm Spider Woman, and I'm secretly looking into your stuff and gang stalking you. I'm Superwoman, and like I'm Batwoman, and I'm like," they were dressing up as superheroes. They had a whole entire day, a whole entire week where they dressed like superheroes, and they were saying that they were gang stalking, and they were helping like this person to gang stalk people. I don't know who it was, but they were working like as a community of gang stalkers, man. It was fucking weird. It's fucking weird.